Gather round the table with dice in hand. Dave the Dungeon Master leads our band. Urizura swings her axe with might and glee. Leorah sings songs wild and free. Dave and friends in an epic quest. Rolling high, we bring out our best. Full of jokes and laughs, we fight with daggers and staffs. Never what you'd expect, it's Adventure Select. Sneaks through shadows with silent grace. Pietro's spells fly swift in the chase. Durin's drunken charm is a welcome delight. Dave's world comes alive every other Saturday night. Dave and friends in an epic quest. Rolling high, we bring out our best. Full of jokes and laughs, we fight with daggers and staffs. Never what you'd expect, it's Adventure Select. Unroll, the story's begun. Battles fought till the morning sun. Friendship forged in our shared dreams. Brought to you with our bi-weekly streams. Monsters lurking, treasure to find. Plot twists unravel in our minds. Victory sweet when we face the beast. Dave's the master of our mighty feast. Dave and friends in an epic quest. Rolling high, we bring out our best. Full of jokes and laughs, we fight with daggers and staffs. Never what you'd expect, it's Adventure Select. Never what you'd expect. Never what you'd expect. Never what you'd expect, it's Adventure Select. Adventure Select.
Professional streamer.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, characters of all shapes, sizes, denominations, and genders, welcome to Adventure Select! The adventure awaits, and we are here for profit and glory. And as you can see, I'm wearing my sweet-ass Adventure Select for Profit and Glory shirt, which is awesome, and appeared out of nowhere one day.
How much did that run you?
I don't know. I didn't buy it.
How much did that run whoever paid for it?
Way more than I wanted to spend.
There you go. So we are back.
Yeah, no, I'll do that.
So we are back for more Adventure Select. It has been a few
Doing it.
weeks because of scheduling issues. That happens, you know.
Real life is a bitch.
That's D&D, baby.
D&D indeed.
The mightiest boss in Dungeons and Dragons is the schedule.
Your daily life.
CR 120.
Exactly.
If only it could be CR 420.
Oh shit, it's more than that.
CR 420. Oh shit.
But yes, welcome back. Just as a kind of getting this out of the way to begin with, I'll be streaming on Monday. Next Friday we'll be streaming XCOM Files. Next Saturday I might be streaming something else. May 8th will be the annual all-day stream where I play games all day and stream them and have fun. And just, it's a nice chill time to play whatever I want.
All day.
All day. Starting
Now,
at
is that
9 or 10 o'clock and going until I can't take it anymore.
And as you get older, that time gets earlier,
smaller
and, earlier.
and smaller? Yeah.
I think last year I got to like 8 or 9 o'clock, but I took an hour-long break in between, so.
You gotta eat lunch.
Well, I
and
mean,
have a coffee.
everybody loves coffee. Anyway.
Except for the people who don't.
I am here with Tyler and V and Malhavoc and Elene and Third, ready to play their characters, who, as you can see, have leveled up to level 2.
We did it.
Huzzah.
We now have unlimited power.
Or
beyond that of mere mortals.
I mean, beyond that of mere commoners.
Yeah, mere mortals.
But we're going to do a quick recap of what happened last time because it has been a few weeks and everybody needs to be reminded. So,
Yay.
your adventures individually brought you to the city of Tyrus, the largest city in the Ganorian Peninsula. Shortly after you arrived, all of you individually, not knowing each other, fortunately, a group of thieves attacked the tavern where you all happened to be gathered. And although you managed to drive them off, the next day you were hired by the local enforcer guy, constable, lieutenant, captain, sergeant, that's his name.
Guy with rank.
Sir Gian.
To go after the thieves and make sure to bring them to justice. It was surprisingly... Justin, yeah. No. What? His name was Liam.
His name is Liam, not Justin.
Well, it's Justin now, because you said, yeah.
It's not how this works. But you ultimately ended up going into the slums for the first time and found it surprisingly easy to find this group. After a few questions and a little bit of intimidation and some fancy talking from Pietro, you were pointed towards a underground hideout in which you basically bulldozed your way past the guards and started beating the shit out of everybody in there.
Like you do.
Quite effectively,
As
really.
one does.
As you made it into the main chamber and found the target of your pursuit, the leader of the so-called Bloody Blades, you were suddenly interrupted by the wall bursting in and a horrific abomination showing up.
Sadly, it was not the Kool-Aid man.
It was not the Kool-Aid Man, but he would also be an abomination of some type.
Wouldn't that
I mean,
actually be a
he kinda
nightmare?
He kind of turned into Kool-Aid when we were done with him.
It's true.
Worst Kool-Aid.
The battle was fierce and played heavily on your mind as the mere existence of this creature shook your will and forced you to battle through your grand disgust of its existence to finally defeat it. At which point it melted away into slop?
Into the forbidden Kool-Aid.
Into the forbidden Kool-Aid. Fortunately, nobody drank the Kool-Aid.
Into delicious marinara.
No, it definitely wasn't that.
If somebody tasted it, you'd find it was just cherry Kool-Aid.
Raspberry jam.
God, no.
You ultimately captured the leader of the Bloody Blades, who professed to have no knowledge of whatever the hell that thing was, and brought him back to Constable Liam, at which point you were rewarded for your grand efforts with gold.
Cash
Dollar
money.
bills.
He promised to keep things, or keep you in mind for any future jobs, and you all went back to the Torn Banner for a night of uneasy sleep. So,
Well, those
Then we
who sleep
leveled
there.
up. Yay.
And then because you were bloodied in battle, you leveled up. But
Those were like Saiyans or something, where you get beaten within an inch of your life, and then you get superpowers.
I mean, that's the way it works, really.
Oh, it's time to start a fight club.
That's what I'm here for.
Nope. That's
Does that
not one.
say that is his entire purpose of being?
That's my character arc, is finding people to beat up.
So, as we begin this session, Pietro,
Uh-oh.
calling on you specifically.
Oh no, the music's called Apprehensive.
You awaken to find yourself still in the same bed that you fell asleep in, which is to
That's
be
a good thing.
is to be expected. But it takes you a long moment to realize that the room that you're in is not the one that you fell asleep in. This room, if indeed it is a room, doesn't appear to have any walls. It is all darkness, seemingly featureless plain.
Oh.
Oh no, what have you smoked?
Huh.
What sort of drugs did you take? Although we're not there, but still.
No, we're
Drank
not.
myself blind.
That's acid. That's acid.
Stop tripping, ball.
As you're trying to get your bearings sitting up in bed, you suddenly hear a voice, a feminine voice, ringing out of the darkness. It says, "Well, 2 days in the city and you've already caused such fun. It's good to know that you're enjoying the gifts you've been given, Pietro." And a woman comes out of the darkness. You can't quite get a sense of her. It's weird. You're looking directly at her, but you get the sense that her hair is red. No, brown. No, definitely red. Blonde. You think it's blonde. Strawberry blonde? No, it's definitely red. It's red. She's wearing a dress that is flattering. It's kind of like a fancy evening dress. But again, it doesn't seem to have like a hemline. You can't tell if it's around her ankles, around her knees. You can't tell what color it is, whether it shimmers or shines. The more you focus on it, the harder it is to make out any details.
Oh no, she's made by AI.
Oh, no, is it a blue and black dress or a gold and white dress?
How many fingers does she have?
Oh no!
Is her name Laura Loriani?
You know for a fact that you have never seen this woman before in your life. You have never heard this voice before in your life. But you know exactly who it is.
Well, if it isn't my patron, Dystomia, right? How's it been?
Well, we only met such a short time ago. I suppose I should be asking you the same question.
You know, little short on cash, less drunk than I'd like to be, and still fatherless, you know, still fatherless.
Yes. Well, you've been in the city for 3 days, is it now? 3 days. And you spent 2 of them getting wildly drunk. I'm not entirely sure that's pursuing your goals, is it?
I'm sure if I drink enough, I will find inspiration at the bottom of a bottle somewhere in this town.
And yet, when the opportunity presented itself, you did not hesitate to throw yourself into battle. Tell me, Pietro, did I make the wrong choice back then?
No. I assure you, our goals still align.
If you summon the powers that I have given you, there's a price to be paid. Nothing in this world is free.
Yeah, tell that to my wallet.
Well, now that you have some means under your belt and a group of people to perhaps assist you, I think the time has come for just a little bit of payback, don't you?
Oh, I would gladly begin our quest of vengeance. Just point the way. And
Well, I'm not one for signposting chaos, Pietro. But if you must, there are a number of suitable targets in the city. I hear there's a place called the Heights that you might be interested in looking into more specifically. But if you need a name, just remember the name Cathis Orlinde.
Cathis Orlinde?
Give me a history check really quick.
All right.
Okay.
Ooh, 21.
21. Cathis Orlinde, you don't know the name Cathis, but you do know the name Orlinde. It's a name from back home. Not anybody that you necessarily bumped shoulders with or anything like that, but definitely one of the more prominent noble families from your home area. Uh, you know that they have various interests in agriculture, so you're not necessarily surprised that they have interests in Tyrus, which is the center of the country. But you don't know the name Cathis, but you do know the family.
Okay. I know that family name.
Well,
So one of their, scions is here in town?
I'll let you figure out the rest. I feel that if I show you the path too directly, then the chances of you having fun are less. And I do want you to have fun, Pietro. Otherwise, I wouldn't have chosen you.
Oh, yes.
Oh, she's
I
chaotic.
am going to
Fucky.
have
Oh no.
so much fun in this town. I can feel it.
Good.
She's the jonkler.
Make sure that you do something spectacular. The more spectacular, the better. But I
Yes.
do want this to be a long relationship, Pietro. So do me a favor and make sure that you don't go all out the first time out. That's what the second time is for. And the third time. But the first time, set the legend.
All right. I will keep my cards close to the chest until the time is right.
Excellent. Well, I've taken enough of your time. Well, more correctly, you've taken enough of mine. And so, go and enjoy yourself. Don't drink yourself to death. And if you do, at least make it spectacular. And just like that, boom, you're back in your room. Awake.
Leave a beautiful corpse.
It is early morning. And you, as per usual, have a hangover.
Like you do.
As one does.
Pietro is going to stumble out of bed and just kind of go through the bottles just scattered around the room, see if there's anything left in any of them.
Need some hair in a dog. God damn it. I didn't ask for this.
When he gives up on that, he's gonna go dig out a mirror and start, doing his makeup, his hair, getting ready for the day, and set off to find the others.
Fair enough. So, the morning finds you all gathered back in the tavern. Leorah, you basically had trouble sleeping last night, and you were so wound up and excited and scared and all of that stuff that you just couldn't sleep until 2 o'clock, and then you fell asleep and you woke up and you're like, man, I feel great. This is awesome.
Sounds about right.
We had an adventure. This is so cool.
We've got a new rug, guys.
Oh my god.
And you head to the tavern to meet them. But it's late morning, or mid to late morning by the time you're more or less all together
Up and
again.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're gathered around the what you now consider your normal table, since you've been there 3 times now, at the tavern. It's medium busy today. There's a few more new faces that look like they've been on the road for a while. Probably just arrived in town recently. A couple of faces that have been there the last few days that look like they're packing up and getting ready to go. The Torn Banner is intended for people that are new to the city, or just as a waypoint. So it's not unusual to see people coming and going. You get your morning breakfast, In some cases, your morning breakfast beer. And
Just liquid bread.
yep. And you have a chance to talk to each other. So do
Pietro's
that
gonna
thing.
order a drink.
So do the talking, damn it.
Do it, motherfucker.
Pietro's gonna order a fresh drink.
Of
Yeah, let's go with whiskey. I need a shot of whiskey. I need my
Breakfast
wake up
whiskey.
shot.
Your wake up shot. Have you not? Okay, you know what? That's fine.
so the
Uh,
the bartender kind of gives you a look, and he's like, "Yeah, give me a second." And
I mean, the bar is open this early, so
it's true.
uh,
Go ahead.
Durin's just kind of quietly sitting with his breakfast and his light beer, just kind of contemplating yesterday because
You got stuck with
we
with
just-
a light beer.
yeah, with a light beer. He's not a super drunk.
morning.
He's
But
a responsible alcoholic.
he is a responsible alcoholic. Otherwise, he wouldn't be a cleric of the brewer. You know, yes, drink, but drink responsibly, and don't pour out your alcohol because that's alcohol abuse.
Drink
Um,
deeply and responsibly.
and always tip
But
your
he's-
server.
Yep.
He's
Anyway,
just,
go ahead.
yes, always tip your server, always tip your bartender. He's a little more quiet than usual. Yesterday was, it was an adventure, but he's more concerned about the things they ran into. Brings up not so great memories. So he's
Mhm.
just going to be kind of sitting there quietly and observing and contemplating.
I'm not
Yours?
sure how mentally fucked up Urizura is from the thing that she fought, because it's just like, oh, it's a thing to fight. You know, how traumatized is she really? I'm not sure about that part. But she's like sat at her table eating like a bowl of porridge or something, and like just sort of buried in like her book that she has on her.
Okay.
Leorah's got a little cup of cider.
Alcoholic cider?
Maybe. No, probably not. Probably didn't give her any.
Fair.
So
She asked for it, but the bartender didn't give her alcohol. Just
Give her, like,
apple
apple
juice.
It's just apple juice.
Yeah. Just handed her a little apple juice.
This apple juice is really smooth.
With the sippy straw.
Oh, no.
Sippy cup.
Not the sippy cup.
Oh Lord.
Oh, poor Leorah.
so there were a couple stains on there that I thought might be really hard to get out. But Mama Betty said to use some vinegar and baking soda, and I put some elbow grease into it, and I got them out. There's one corner that looks kind of iffy, but I think I just need to give it a little bit of time and maybe air it out some more. But it's really nice. It's purple, and it's got some gold threads in it. It really looks nice in my room, guys.
It really just pulls the room together.
It took
Now,
me a minute to
I'm-
figure out what the hell you were talking about.
I'm curious as to how big, how much of the room does that carpet cover? Because it was not a small carpet, and she's not a big lady.
It's just like full coverage.
It's like
It's
the
wall to
whole
wall
room.
carpet, yeah.
Like 10 of us had to get together and pick up my bed.
I mean, halflings aren't that small. They're pretty small, but not that.
It's true. And Saoirse, what are you doing?
I'll be sitting in like the booth next, like next to it,
I'm not with these fuckles.
just like taking up the whole booth side, and no drink, just occasionally drink from my flask.
So should I be interested in any stain removal tips you have? Because I know blood is kind of hard to get out of fabric. So any thoughts?
And
feel free to
assume
pass them along.
Saoirse knows exactly how to remove blood from things.
I know how to clean.
You already got it. It's vinegar and baking soda. I'll also just have extras. Just it's not just buy more. Buy more.
Good to know.
Buy more than you need.
Buy one in every color.
Loot
Got it.
extra,
Oh,
loot extra
also-
carpets.
When it all gets stained, none of it's stained.
That's
It's like a
very
weird-
true.
Morbid tie-dye.
No.
And stains don't show up so well on black.
That's an excellent point. You guys are so smart. I'm learning so much from you.
Just
Pulls out like a little
Apple cider is
notebook, is like
really
writing them down.
at this moment, the bartender comes back. He's got a shot of whiskey for Pietro. Looks
Oh,
a
Lord.
little short on the shot. Like it's not a lot of whiskey. It's not a finger. It's like a half a finger. He puts it down in front of Pietro. And
Where's the rest of it?
it's too early for us to be opening another bottle. Here you go.
They call it a thieves shot because it's half a finger.
Is it a
Yeah,
halfling
I like
finger?
that.
Yeah, Pietro's gonna just shoot it down, because fuck it, I guess.
So
And
y'all,
turn to the others.
oh, go ahead.
And so, anybody remember what's on the agenda today? Because I sure don't.
Durin's going to set
I
his
Didn't know we had agendas.
set his. I'm assuming they give cutlery for the food here. He's just gonna set his fork and knife down and kind of lean forward and go, "Well, I don't know about agendas, but I do know I've got a little personal goal. I'd like to look into that thing that was wandering around down below in the catacombs."
Oh, sweetums. He was just misunderstood.
Durin's gonna kind of give Leorah just a little bit of a side eye and one raised bushy eyebrow.
He had potential.
At that moment, the bartender, who's been standing nearby after putting down the shot, says, "Are you between jobs then?"
Just gonna kind of Durin's gonna kind of glance around and at the rest of the party and sort of shrug and nod at the same time.
Because if you're looking for a job, I might have a lead on one that might suit you.
I thought you said I could never bartend for you again.
It's not bartending, and I told you could never do that again. You destroyed that entire rack trying to climb it.
But
Should have built a
Best
sturdier rack.
classes were on top.
I have a sturdier rack now. This is why I don't.
Problem solved then.
This is why I don't hire halflings.
Oh
fine.
Lord.
But if you're looking for a job or something to do, I might be able to get you in the right direction. See, one of the captains down at the docks was here last night after you had all gone your separate ways, and he needs somebody to deliver some goods for him. Simple enough job, pays well, I'm sure. And you're all new in the city. Pietro, I know you've only been here for a couple of days. The rest of you, though, if you need to learn your way around the city, this could be a good opportunity.
Fair
Learn our
enough.
way around the city, huh? Would this job have any potential of taking us to, say, the Heights or something?
I suppose it would depend on what he's asking you to deliver and who wants it, but things from the dock go all over the city. The docks go all over the city.
All right. Yes. Let's tell us where to find this friend of yours. And we'll go have a chat with him.
So, just thinking about how to word this. If you head down to the docks, easiest way to get there, turn left outside the front door. Head down east until you can see the water, and then you'll turn right and you'll be at the docks. It's quite large. You're looking for Captain Badarin. He is the captain of the ship, the Jasmine Dragon.
Captain of the Jasmine Dragon, Captain Baderic. Okay. And you said the docks are to the east?
The docks are to the east from here, yes. Just follow the smell of the water. You won't be able to miss it. It's the most important part of the city. And
Follow our nose. Got it.
tell him that you got the lead from Genry at the Torn Banner. And that's me.
Gannery?
That's me. And it's at this point that you realize, Pietro, that you had no idea that this guy even had a name.
Yeah. Pietro didn't even consider that this man could have a name.
I totally thought his name was Henry. That explains so much.
Anyway, he's docked at his ship is at the docks for the next few days, but the sooner you can get down there, the better. He seemed pretty upset last night.
Well, if everyone's done with their breakfast, I know I am, we can head on down.
The single shot Pietro had.
Not even a full shot.
A single half shot.
You need an Irish breakfast.
However, as you stand up from the table, you notice that Genry goes back to the bar, and he just kind of gives you like a nod, and you realize he didn't charge you for that drink. Slim though it was, you got it for free.
Excellent.
Fair enough.
Wow.
So, as you head out, I'm assuming you're all heading to the docks?
Uh,
Or is
yeah,
there
that's-
something else that you wanted to do first?
Well,
Well, I don't think I was paying attention to that at all because I didn't hear the words beat people up.
good to know how to focus Urizura on things.
Or is there
Uh,
a smash?
Smash.
Not those words. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, because right now all we know is that there's Griblies underneath the city. Wandering around blindly in the catacombs sounds like a really good way to get lost and or die. So, right now just kind of... We don't have any leads on our goals. I mean, obviously Pietro does, but we don't know that. So yeah, heading to the docks is perfectly fine with Durin.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
I
Or
mean,
is there
I'll
just
follow along, but
And
Really hope you
Urizura's
punch
just
someone.
like, these people keep getting into shit. I'm sure if I follow them, there will be more things to face smash.
I do need to go to a blacksmith and get a new sword, though.
do you want to do that before you do anything else?
I got other weapons,
All
The axe.
right.
axe and a quarterstaff, and fucking A and fucking B.
Fucking A, fucking B. Gunshots every time.
Does she actually call them that?
Probably in Goblin, like whatever the Goblin phrase is for that.
Turns out in Goblin, it's actually fucking B and fucking A.
It turns out the word fuck actually comes from Goblin.
Yeah, no.
It's an imported word. So
Right.
as you step out of the tavern, turns out that the weather today is a little less sunny. There's a drizzle in the air. It's not full on rain, but it's like misting.
It's muggy and wet.
Well, no, it's
Excellent.
Silent Hill.
It's not muggy.
Oh no!
The temperature is still probably somewhere around the 60s, 70s, so it's not like hot, it's just misty.
It's Silent Hill.
So the streets are a little less busy as you head towards the docks, but it's still definitely a busy city. Again, you are in the largest city in the continent. There are thousands of people here, and they're all going about their business. And you draw some looks as per usual. But
We are a very eclectic group.
But you manage to make it to the docks without too much trouble. The docks are quite different from the rest of the city. The docks are... The one word that you would use to describe them is expensive. If you're picturing wooden piers and stuff like that, no, it's stone. There are
It's fancy.
There are towers, 6 of them, 2 on the far sides, and then 2 more, and then 2 more. And these things are on their own keys, all the way out in the water, and it's clear that these are defensive towers, from which they can scout and spot and shoot and generally rain down hell on anybody that's coming through the water if they wanted to.
And the wizards that hang up there love to cast fireballs.
The docks themselves, the cobblestone is not proper cobblestone. It's almost like brick. The stones have all been cut to fit. Whether it was intentional at the time that the docks were built, or it's been something that somebody's been working on over time, you can't tell. But these stones are all worn smooth. There's a lot of traffic going through here. You can see this traffic as there are dozens and dozens of ships lined up at the various docks. There are quite a few docks. Some of them have carts being pulled by horses, and they're being loaded and taken away to buildings on the farther inland that are clearly warehouses. Some are getting carts from in the city going into the ship, and then they're loading things up. There's people everywhere, merchants, sailors, soldiers, like proper soldiers, not enforcers, although the enforcers are there as well. It's people that look less than savory, but you can't really tell what their business is there because they don't seem to be doing anything. They're just walking. This is the center of commerce for the entire Ganorian Peninsula, and it shows. There is a constant flow of goods here.
It show.
The problem
Could be
is,
doing numbers.
everybody give me a perception check.
One perception check coming up.
I will just say none of my gold is accessible by pickpocket.
It's hidden up your butt.
It's all in your
10.
boot.
I know the tricks.
I got a 21.
Okay.
I got a 3.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay. So Pietro,
18.
you're too busy like nursing your headache, your hangover, and Leorah, you're just a little too short to be able to properly see anything except for the closest ships. But Durin, Saoirse, and Urizura, just a quick look tells you that there are well over 100 ships docked at the docks.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
A lot of boats.
And you got to find one.
And I'm assuming none of them have any big names painted on the side of them or anything.
Oh no, they
like
have
that.
all of them have names painted on the side. Like that one over there is the Jerry. You don't know why it's called the Jerry. It's spelled Jiery, the Jerry. That one over there is the Black Sword, and it's painted white. That seems weird.
It's shaped like a hammer.
That one over there is called the Tool of Commerce.
And it's a really rickety looking thing, isn't it?
No, that one looks fine. It's just called the Tool of Commerce. And then there's another one called the Siren Song. And that one's really nice. It's got a really nice figurehead. But they all have names on them, but there's over 100 of them.
Is there anything that looks to be like a office on the docks, like something
Like a
to
dock
register?
master
Yeah,
or
a dock
something.
master office, something to register incoming ships, where they're set. Some kind of official-looking building.
Is there a guy with a clipboard?
Yeah, dudes with clipboards, that
There
kind
is
of
no
thing.
guy with a clipboard, but if you'd like to see if you can see a dockmaster's office, give me another perception check.
I don't even know what that looks like, so I'm not even to make the roll.
Or an investigation check, whichever you prefer.
I'll do the perception.
I'll do a perception too.
Oh, nat 1, I don't see shit.
You trip and fall.
15.
Fucking nat 1, yeah.
I got 13 on investigation.
A bird flies in Durin's beard. He's too distracted.
So... So, okay. Leorah and Saoirse, both of you working together. Leorah, you find a bench that you can hop up on so you can get a bit of a better look. Saoirse, you kind of like try to stay to the edge of crowds and avoid people and keep an eye on things. And you notice that near where all of the warehouses are, there's one building that first of all is 2 floors, which is different from all the other warehouses. And it also seems to be far too small to be a warehouse. But that's what you see.
I'll point that out to the others.
Alrighty.
All right.
So, I guess, everyone in agreement, will meander our way over that way?
Sounds good to me.
I'll shrug and follow the party. They seem to know where we're going.
I need to hold on to someone's cloak because people like to play float the halfling and I can't swim.
Oh,
They like to play. I'm sorry, what?
They like to drop kick halflings sometimes near water to see if we float. So she
Or
just
is
told
there
me
a-
the
I
end
have
of Urizura's
questions, but I don't know if I want the answers.
Urizura, would you please carry the halfling?
I'll just pick her up by the back of her shirt and carry her like a lantern.
I have questions on what the folks around here find as entertaining, but I'm not sure I want the answers.
As you approach the building, you can see that there's a sign out front that was too hard. You were too far away to see it. But the sign out front does indeed say Dockmaster and Guild of Portage.
Gosh.
It's entirely possible I just made the word portage up, but we're going to go with it.
No, portaging is when you're like kayaking between rivers.
I know what portaging
you-
is. I've done it.
No, potage is a stew of like
That's pottage.
vegetables.
That's potage. This has an R. It looks legit.
Behold the
Yeah,
English language.
Your halfling says it looks legit.
Oh,
You know, portage is just like how long the docks have been here. You know how weathered they are. You know,
Do you
their
mean like
portage.
like the quartermasters, like people who move things?
Yes.
Is that what they're called? Okay.
porters, yeah.
I don't think portermaster is the word.
I don't
but
think
it's
quartermaster
They
is
have-
the word, but porters
They have
are.
a name. They have a name.
Yeah, they're porters.
So you go in.
So anyway,
So you go in, and as you enter, as you try to enter, actually, the door opens before you get there, and a big, rough-looking, like, half-orc dude kind of slams the door open and comes out, and he doesn't even give you the time of day. He he's got this grumpy look on his face. He just stalks off, mumbling to himself.
grumbly, 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 grump.
Longshoremen. That's the name
Just
I was
in
thinking
the
of.
back of Urizura's mind, she's like, I bet he'd be a good fight.
Oh
He must have
no.
been. He must have been shorted on his breakfast whiskey too.
But there's no further problems getting into the office, except for the fact that it's kind of crowded. There's a few people that are dressed slightly fancily, I would say. They're not wearing what you would typically see on a commoner around the city, based on what you've seen. They're wearing like long jackets. Some of them have hats on. They're all armed, whether it's with a dagger or with a sword. But they're all just kind of sitting around and waiting. There's a guy at the one of these gentlemen is standing at a desk talking to a dwarven woman seated behind the desk, and he goes, "If I don't get this cargo offloaded by tomorrow, I am going to lose money." And she just goes, "And you're going to have to get in line to deal with that problem, sir, because the same is true of all of these other fine people here, isn't it?"
What?
He slams his fist down on the desk one more time, and he's like, "God damn it! How much do I have to pay to make this go away?" And Jesus gives him a look and goes, "I don't think money is going to solve this problem. But if you want to try, I would be willing to take a donation." And he just goes, "Yeah!" And he storms out of the office past you.
Grumbling, 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 grumbling.
The
Gosh, why do they have so many? Why is the dock so crowded?
the dwarven woman behind the desk kind of looks up at you, and you can just see this like plastered on smile and this dead, soulless look in her eyes.
The
Your
customer service smile. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, everyone is familiar with the customer service smile. The smile that never reaches the eyes and says, "I am dead inside and God has abandoned me."
And she goes, "If this is about the shortage of porters, then I can't help you. If it's about anything else, please feel free to ask."
Does this mean there's a portage shortage?
This might actually be a solution to at least part of the port.
We're looking for a certain boat by the name of the
Rob,
Jade
the
Dragon.
Jasmine Dragon.
Jasmine or Jade?
Jasmine.
Jasmine. It's green.
Is it?
Jasmine
Yeah,
Dragon,
fine, Dragon.
green boat.
Okay.
She kind of has this book on her desk, and she starts flipping through the pages. She goes, looking through.
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Lawful.
Oh, Jasmine Dragon. It's in dock 83.
83.
Out the door,
Excellent.
go left. Just keep going, and thank you very much for coming in and giving me a question that I could actually answer.
Oh, no problem. No problem at all. And hopefully we'll even help sort out some of this porter shortage while we're at it.
Oh,
All right, let's go.
Before you go, don't say anything about solving the porter shortage problem, because I swear to God, and you turn, or I swear to the gods, you turn and you see that every single captain in the office is now looking directly at you, and there's like there's like a dozen of them, and she
Excellent.
goes, "If you say that you're willing to deliver goods, all of these people are going to be asking for your services, and trust me, you will never sleep again. Ever."
Might I inquire why there's such a shortage?
No! Nobody knows why! And I'm not supposed to answer those questions, so I don't know!
Not supposed to. Anyways,
Thank you for the information then.
let us be off before, we get roped into something else we don't really want to be a
Yes,
part of.
go, please. Have a good day. Thank you. Make sure to leave a review.
3
Not
stars.
supposed to answer is a very interesting answer in and of itself.
3
Durin's
stars.
going to
is.
say as they leave the building.
Smelled
Oh,
and
yes.
retries.
Yes, it is.
And you hear kind of say behind you, whatever. So you head out of the dockmaster's office. Harbor Master is the name. Sorry, thank you for correcting me on that. And you turn left, and you start walking down the docks. And it's not hard going. The mist is making you feel a little damp, but other than that, it's the wind coming off of the lake is actually quite refreshing this early in the
Must
morning.
be misty.
Yep. But it doesn't take long before you get to what you assume is Dock 83, because you can see a very large merchant ship called the Jasmine Dragon. And it's a... Compared to all of the ships that you've seen, it's not the biggest. It's not the fanciest. But it does definitely have that weathered look to it. Like the notion that this is a ship that has been around for a long time and has been lovingly cared for. So that you know that it's been around for quite a long time, but you also know that it's been well maintained. There are several carts parked out front with horses waiting. You can't tell if they are loading or unloading, but you see a group of sailors kind of sitting around some boxes, just kind of, sitting there with their arms crossed and just kind of waiting and shooting the shit. And there's a gangplank that goes over to the ship.
Okay. So I'm going to make my way down the pier towards the gangplank. Keeping an eye out for anyone who looks like they might be of a captainly sort.
Are you going right on the gangplank?
If I reach the gangplank without getting stopped, I'm just going to shout permission to come aboard and start walking up the gangplank without waiting for a response.
As soon as you say permission to come aboard, one of the sailors from that's sitting nearby goes, "Hey, what are you doing? You can't just go on the ship."
Here to see a captain about a dragon.
I don't know what that
Ask for
means.
permission first.
I don't know.
Say,
Where
I
is
said
your
a dragon? Which dragon? Where? When?
The Jasmine Dragon. Where is its captain?
Fair enough.
On the boat, I would have last I saw, but you can't
And
go
that's
on the. You're not allowed on the boat. I'll go get the captain if you need to talk to him. Who the hell are you? What is this?
I am so glad you asked. I am Pietro de Marchi, and this is Pietro's 5. We are here to solve your captain's problem. Whatever that problem happens to be. I don't know yet. I'm about to find out.
And they all kind of like sit there and stare at you. And then the guy that was talking turns to the guy next to him and it's like, "Do you know the captain had a problem?" The guy goes, "Is it about that thing? Maybe it's about the delivery." "Oh, yeah, it's probably about the delivery." No, the other thing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. So you're here about the delivery stuff?
Maybe.
Are we supposed to tell him that Genry sent us?
Oh, yeah. Genry, at the bar, or tavern. He sent
Batter's
us.
head,
Okay.
Torn banner.
At the they kind of stare at you again. He's like, "Captain say anything about the torn banner?" "Captain was at the torn banner last night." "Oh, that makes sense." "Does it?" "I don't know. It's too early in the morning for this shit, and I ain't drunk enough. All right, let me go get the captain.
Fair enough.
I'll be right back.
Brewer's blessings.
And he stands up and he walks over to the gangplank. And as he gets there, he roughly puts his hand on your chest and pushes you back from the gangplank. As another sailor comes up behind him and stands there and is just like crosses his arms and is just like, you stay here.
Being big and burly.
Yeah, big and burly. And then he kind of looks at Urizura. Looks up at Urizura.
I was about to say,
I
you
look
mean
back
looks
at
up
him.
Urizura. And her giant grin on her face that is begging, please start something.
He
I'm
just kind
desperate. I'm begging you.
of looks at her and he goes, "You're big.
You're not.
I'm big where it counts."
I love the straight up. This is out of character. I love the straight up derpiness you've got for the sailors. They're just like the lack of give a shits they seem to have.
They're
Of just like
sailors.
minimum wage employee. They're like, just fucking whatever, man.
He's like, I'm big where it counts.
Waggles
That's just-
eyebrows.
She
does not understand the reference.
she looks at like his arms and like his chest and is like, no.
And he kind of gets this look on his face, like a cloud passes over his face, suddenly going from smiling and cocksure to, did she just threaten my manhood?
That or it's the oh no, she's a dummy.
And he,
Why not
he-
both?
Or sorry, he means his ding dong.
Okay. What does that have to do with anything?
He goes, all right, I'll show you that I'm strong enough. And he waves over to one of the other sailors, and they immediately know what's going on as they bring out a barrel, just bonk right down on the ground right in
Oh.
front of you. He gets up to the barrel, he leans over it, he puts his arm up, he slams his elbow down, and he goes, "Come on."
Is this what I think it is? Is this what I think it is? It's happening.
We're having a friendly handshake.
Oh,
Please,
oh.
it's a slap contest.
Would anyone like to take bets?
I love
Play
how
bets with me, everyone.
Pietro's
So-
immediately like, and it's loan shark time. Let's fucking go.
So the three sailors that are with this other guy all stand around him. And they're like, "Yeah, you got this, Hugo. You got this. You got this guy." And
Let's go.
and Hugo, apparently is his name, is just standing there, and he's like, "Come on!" And they're like, "Yeah, I got 5 on Hugo. I got 10 on Hugo."
Yeah, I'll step up and wrestle him.
All right. So you step up to the barrel and you lean down
I
because
got
it's pretty.
5 on the strong one.
I was going to say, how low is that barrel compared to?
You kind of have to bend over a lot more than Hugo does.
I have to
And
get
at-
on my knees.
As you pull, you get your arm out and you start like working the shoulder a little bit, loosening it up. You put your elbow down and you get ready to grab his hand, and they just see the muscles on your arm bulge,
Bicep that's bigger than his head.
and they're like,
Suddenly, like-
"Yeah, you gotta, oh,
Oh no!
you could do this, Hugo. Don't you could do this. You could do this."
I got $5 on you, you motherfucker.
So you slap your hand right into his, and
And how big is that palm compared to his?
it doesn't matter. They're ready to go. Hugo, for the record, is a large man. He is like 6.5 feet tall, so he is big. You're bigger, and he is burly. You have like that sleek muscle. He's got
He's like fit.
He's got that lifetime of hard work muscle.
Right.
So, despite the fact that you are taller than him, it's not necessarily going to be a done deal. So, let me get my dice out here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need you to make a strength check.
I was about to say, doesn't Urizura have like a +4?
She does. Sadly, at level 3, she gets advantage on this, but she doesn't have it right now.
All right. So you lock
This is a great
wrists.
time for inspiration.
Oh no! Oh no!
You lock
This
hands.
poor guy.
You get ready to go, and they go 3, 2, 1. All right. What did you roll?
23.
Ow.
So
Ow.
So, as soon as they go 3, 2, 1, go, you start straining against his arm, and he starts straining against your arm, and it's just like, and it's like intense concentration on his face, and you're just kind of sitting there like, what are you even doing, man? And you start pushing his arm back, and he starts like, he starts trying to like figure out what he's doing, and he's like trying to get leverage without cheating. Roll again.
Roll again. All right.
That did not roll properly. There we go. All right.
Again. So 23.
23.
Again.
So
At that point, Urizura calmly goes, I'm going to push your arm down now.
so
I'm asking you for consent.
you start. You keep struggling, and he seems to get his. Seems to find the right bit of leverage and starts pushing back. You realize it's not quite as easy as it was before, but you manage to move him a few more inches, and he's like, his face has turned red. There's a vein popping out of his freaking his forehead.
Forehead or whatever.
Roll one more time.
Oh god. I got a 3 on that, so I'm gonna use my inspiration to roll again. That will be a 15.
Ooh, and
If I fail that, Dave, I need
Mhm.
to know if I fail it.
you did not fail.
Okay, because I was going to use my tactical mind to give a 1d10 bonus to that.
I don't know how that would work on an arm wrestling contest, but
It lets me do it on any ability check.
Any check.
fair enough. You redouble your efforts, and his arm starts moving again, and he digs deep, and he gets in there, and he's just like, "Ah!" and he starts pushing you back, and you're like, oh, I actually have to try all of a sudden. And then you start pushing down, and boom! His hand hits the barrel, and you're just like, all right. And all three of the guys with him. Go ahead.
Oh.
All three of the guys with them were like, no! Good job, good job.
Buddy!
Time to
I was waiting for Urizura to do the calm, like, I'm going to put your arm down on the barrel now. I'm asking for your consent.
So, for the record, you beat the first one by like 15 points, the second one by 1 point, and the third one by 2 points. So, it was close. And Hugo sits there, and
he was burlier than I figured he'd be.
So he sits there, and he's like rubbing his hand and arm.
Big.
And he's like, he looks at you, and he gives you that like silent nod of respect, like,
Yeah, she could kick my ass.
Let's see. One bet 5, the other bet 10.
I put 5 down on Urizura, so I get a...
You said the strong one.
Yeah, the strong one. Urizura!
I knew what that meant. I was the one
I ain't
reporting the
betting
bets,
against-
so...
I am not betting against Urizura.
All right,
when I
so-
say the strong one.
The guys behind gun grudgingly hand out the money, and you get
So,
15 gold that you can distribute any way that you would like, Pietro.
I look very pleased with myself at having
I'm
won
sure
the arm
Urizura
wrestling thing.
it's not a fight, but it's close. You know, that's
It's a contest, and Urizura won, so that's
The
more
total
for the
pot-
glory.
The total pot, including Saoirse, I can't pronounce that word.
Saoirse.
Saoirse, I keep
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
easy.
It's
Saoirse.
Saoirse.
Yeah.
Why is it
Saoirse's
spelled
title
like
is
that?
Like
Yeah.
someone who can see the future.
Seer.
And shot.
So
Huh.
the total pot, including Saoirse's bet, would have been 20. So I'm going to give 18 to the winner,
Okay.
Saoirse. But I'm going to keep 2
Thank you.
gold as my 10% bookie fee
Bookie
here.
fee.
And Urizura gets nothing.
I was gonna say, so what
I
does
get
Urizura get?
I get the
satisfaction
satisfaction of
of
a
a-
contest well won.
I
That's
will.
such a
I will.
Pietro thing of just like Pietro going, and
She went
I
into
get
that
this
without
money.
any. She went into that without any expectation of money whatsoever. It's like the dude's like, I could beat you in a
She's like,
contest, and
"Bet."
she's like, Nuh-uh.
To be fair, yeah, no, she wouldn't say bet. She would say nuh-uh, because bet implies that she's betting against it.
I
So,
will hand 2 to Urizura.
all right.
I
So,
will look at it and
Like, what do I do with
shrug
this?
and just throw it in my, shove it in my pocket.
as this is wrapping up and the barrel is getting put back to where it was, and Hugo's still not letting you pass. He's still being his big burly self.
Big burly man.
You see
fair.
the other guy coming back with a gentleman who is. It takes you a second, but you realize that he is of Orcish descent. Coming down the gangway after him. He's wearing a very nice coat. Like, you saw some nice coats at the harbor master's office. This is a nice coat.
Want it.
And he's got like the frilly kind of like pirate shirt thing.
The corsage.
Yeah. And he's wearing a hat with possibly the biggest feather that you've ever seen.
I love this man's fashion sense. Truly.
He comes down the gangway, and the guy that was with him just kind of looks at the group of you, and he just goes, "It's them." And then Hugo's like, "Pretty strong too, just so you know, boss." And he's like, "Thank you. I appreciate you telling me." And they go back to join their group, and he comes up and he says, "I'm the captain of the Jasmine Dragon. How can I help you?"
Pleasure. What was it? Genry at the tavern? He sent us. He said that you had some a delivery that needs to be made.
Genry, you say? Ah, yes, the Torn Banner. I was there drowning my sorrows last night. Met a lovely lady. Spent the night with her. Oh, she was a fine lass, let me tell you. Ah,
He's a foppish orc. I've never seen one of those. This is out of character. I'm saying that. Why did you make him orcish?
it's funny to me.
It is. But I've never seen one.
Yes. And he said that he recommended you to me to aid me with deliveries. Well, I didn't say anything to him about, unless I was drunk. Hugo!
You probably were.
It seems to be a common theme around this place.
Oh, trust me, everybody here is getting drunk for all sorts of reasons. Hugo! And Hugo kind of looks up and he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Was I drunk last night?" "Yeah." "Thank you, Hugo."
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, I do, as it turns out, need some help with deliveries. But, you don't look like delivery people.
We're odd job sort of people. And, well, delivery? Yeah, sure, we can handle that.
Haha. Mercenaries, I see how it is. Yes, there's a lot of call for people like you in the city these days. Well, no, that's not true. Who am I kidding? There's no call for mercenaries at all. We're not at war. For now. I suppose. Yes, I could use your help getting some deliveries done. I'm far behind schedule and do so like to make money. Do you like to make money?
I love to make money.
Man after my own heart. Well,
Oh,
I must say, I find your eye patch quite enchanting.
Oh yes, it's a family heirloom.
Your family has produced quite the heirloom, if you know what I'm saying. Yes, yeah. And he kind of like gets this look in his eye and give me a perception check. Give me an insight check.
Insight check. Okay.
Insight check. Anybody can insight
Good,
check
'cause-
this guy. I mean, he's standing right there in front of
Oh, I got a nat 1.
you. Ooh.
Wait, what does inspiration do again?
Inspiration.
Roll it.
Reroll any one roll.
I got an 18.
Get an 18.
I got an 18.
What, did
I
we
got
get a
this.
heroic inspiration with the level up?
I mean, I'm a human. I always have.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, you're human. I was like, what?
You always have
Summons
one
get it
per
every time we
monk
rest.
roll. Yeah.
Yeah. What does that do again? Does that allow me to re-roll?
Yep,
Yeah, you just re-roll one dice.
Just like Baldur's
Alright.
Gate 3.
All right. Let me re-roll this because a nat 1 is unacceptable. It's still only a 9.
Okay. A 9 is actually good enough because this guy is not being subtle at all.
He's coming on to you
is
pretty damn hard.
super hard flirting with you.
Well, yeah.
Split.
However, I am going to type a quick message to Leorah here. This is a whisper, in case you're wondering.
Yes.
This is a very loud whisper.
Sorry, my
Clickety
keyboard
clack,
is quite
clickety
loud.
clack, clickety clack, clickety.
All right. Anyway, yes, deliveries. So, I have a few deliveries that are important for clients that are, shall we say, well-to-do. And I have a reputation to keep.
Well-to-do, you say? These deliveries wouldn't happen to be heading towards the Heights, would they?
I would imagine some of them are. I haven't really paid attention. They go to wherever they're needed to go, not necessarily to the people that ordered them. But
I'm
if
very confused at that statement. So I'm just
But-
sitting. You just see the gears turning in her head. It's like, wait.
Are they gifts? Is that why they're not going to people who ordered them?
Maybe they are. I don't know. I just deliver them.
So where exactly are you hailing from?
Oh, I'm a man of the sea. Can't you tell? The sea is my home, and the sea is where I return to at the end of every journey. And the start of every journey. It's kind of this whole cyclical journey thing, really.
It's all about the journey, not the destination for this guy.
Yeah! It's... did you say that out loud?
No.
If she did, he would have been like, "Yeah, that right
You
there. I'm
get me!"
stealing that." It's like I'm stealing that. This saying is mine now.
I'm writing that down in my diary.
Not the journey, the death. Yeah. If you're willing to deliver make these deliveries for me, then I would be willing to pay you for them. Well, I'd be willing to pay you some money, but you would get paid when they are delivered to the correct places by the people receiving them.
Of course.
Now, they are late. Don't tell anybody. I have a reputation to uphold. Hugo kind of looks over and goes, "They're not late, they're just delayed." That's right, Hugo, you absolute man of you. All right, they're delayed due to circumstances beyond my control because my courier hasn't shown up today. Or yesterday. He's supposed to be
Good
here
help, it's
yesterday.
so hard to find these days.
My God, you understand me, man. Good help is so hard to find. Hugo's good help, though.
Courier.
It's a gentleman that I work with in the city. He's been working with me for, a few months now, and I thought the arrangement was good, but he probably just moved on from the city as people are wont to do, trying to find new opportunities now that there's no threat of war.
That sounds a
Yeah,
little
I'm not
weird.
gonna make a check now. I'll let that pass.
You can make a check, go for it.
Sorry, check for what?
Yeah, what are you checking for?
Well, he's constantly going on about how there's no war, isn't it great? There's no
Oh.
war, isn't it
There's
fantastic?
no
and I'm
war
like,
in Bossing Say.
I'm
If-
I have
what,
no
you-
idea where this guy disappeared to.
That's the feel I'm getting. Is that his character, or is he constantly going on about how there's no war in Bossing Say? You shut the fuck up!
Give me an insight check.
I was like, what is he going on about? 22.
22? He's a dickhead.
Okay, fair enough.
He's talking
it
about...
was,
Well,
it was that, or he was either being a foppish dick, or he knew something that we didn't, and
No,
was
it's-
being all taunty about it.
So if you want, like, the details of it, he keeps bringing it up because you can tell that he has a very limited repertoire of things to talk about. So he keeps cycling back to the things that he knows so that he doesn't get caught talking about things he doesn't know.
Oh, so
I
he's
see.
just boring.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Boring, trying to come off as interesting,
Yes.
specifically. All right.
The
One
fancy-
Presenting
away from,
himself
like,
as the most interesting man in the world.
The fancy coat, the
Where
fancy
he's drinking
shirt,
Bud Light.
the giant feather in his cap, it's all a distraction. He wants people to think that he's interesting, and he is as boring as a merchantman ship captain can possibly be. No
one
interest.
step away
Did you
from
ever-
like sitting there complimenting your jacket.
Did you ever
repeatedly.
play Paper Mario Thousand Year Door?
Kind of.
Do you know Flavio from that
Yes,
game?
I know Flavio.
Oh God, it's Flavio.
It's Flavio.
I can't unsee that out.
So,
Why would you curse me with that knowledge?
so, so yeah, it's there's nothing nefarious about this guy. He is not deep enough to be nefarious.
All right, so yeah, Durin will take that insight and just kind of roll with it, because I was sitting here going, okay, late shipments, his standard courier's missing. We didn't happen to capture his last courier, did we? So,
So,
alright, so in
if you... Okay, how about this as an arrangement? Profit margins on trading are pretty slim these days, but I can pay you 50 gold to make my more important deliveries, and then you can keep whatever you gather. I've already been paid in advance for the important parts.
50 gold for how many deliveries?
3?
Each?
why was that a question?
He's like it's like seeing how much he can get away with. It's like 3? No, I mean 2. Two. Don't worry.
To your question, Leorah, he will go, "Oh no, no. Profit margins, very, very small. 50 total, plus
Agreed.
whatever you can gather from the deliveries."
So tips. So this is a tip-based job.
No. They'll pay you when you deliver. Problem. There's
Tip-based economy. Oh no.
they paid me half up front, and I'm getting half on delivery. And you can keep that half, and I'll give you 50 gold extra.
Well, how much are we expecting?
Oh,
for each
plenty.
delivery?
Don't worry. I mean, they'll pay you very well. If you can talk them out of more,
Could we get
more power to you.
numbers? Do you have records?
Is there a clipboard so we look official?
No clipboards. What's a clipboard? I don't understand that reference.
All right. And what exactly
Okay, no
needs to
records
be
either.
delivered? Like, are
Oh!
we talking just like small crates, big crates?
The deliveries are incredibly easy. I don't expect you to have any trouble at all. That cart
Nothing
over there.
fragile.
Oh, some minor fragile things. Don't worry. That cart over there, and he points to one of the carts near the near the ship on the dock.
Mhm.
It's a smaller cart being pulled by one horse. Urizura, if you were to sit in it, you would probably break the axle. It's got
Thought you were gonna say break the horse for a second.
Oh, could I lift the thing though?
it's got two smaller boxes, like not crates. These are boxes with latches and like locks. Two smaller boxes and one larger box. And he goes, that cart over there, that's two of the three deliveries. And then the third one is probably the more important one. I'd want you to deliver that, today. The other ones, they're on the way. I'm sure it's not a problem.
Do we have to bring the horses back? And the
Yes,
wagon back?
yes.
Yes!
Those horses don't belong to me. They belong to the docks. If you take off with those horses, I get fined. My permit can be revoked, and please don't run off with the horses. They need that for
Get fined.
Yeah.
profit margins very slim. You understand?
You said it was 3
Uh.
deliveries, right?
3 deliveries, yes.
Those
How
two
about-
boxes on the other?
How about 25 gold per delivery? And you have yourself a deal.
Ooh, I don't know if we can afford that. Give me a charisma check. No, persuasion check, sorry.
Persuasion I can do. 23.
Yes, you can.
And he kind of sits there and he like looks back and forth and he's like, give me a second to check the petty cash. Hugo, and Hugo kind of walks over. Big burly muscle man, all caught his arms crossed up. He's like, "Yeah, boss." He goes, "Hugo, do you know we can't afford 75 gold for deliveries, can we?" "Yeah, we can afford that, boss." No, Hugo, we can't afford that." No, it's fine, boss. We can honestly play up to like 100 gold if we needed to. 75 is no problem at all.
100, you say?
75 gold sounds fantastic.
100
Okay.
gold, I can assure
Out-
the
out of
most
character.
timely of deliveries, the most pristine of deliveries, the best handling money can buy for 100 gold.
After
out
all,
of
75
character.
gold doesn't separate. It doesn't like divide well.
Just out of character. Why do I get the feeling that Hugo is the real brains of this outfit?
And not
Just
Pietro.
that was just out of character, but still, like
he looks at Hugo and he goes, "Thank you, Hugo." And he goes
Yes. Thank you, Hugo.
he was like, "Anytime, boss." He walks off back to the other sailors and he's like,
if he's
Okay.
the straight man to the Three Stooges, I swear to God.
100 gold for 3 pristine deliveries. If I get a single complaint from any of the recipients, I will find you. And I'll treat you to dinner. Because quite frankly, nobody complains about my things, and you're very tall and muscly looking. I'm not going to mess with that at all.
Like glances at her and Sarah like,
I'm just like, what? What do I do now?
Then we have ourselves a deal, my good
We
man.
have in a car.
Okay. Let me go and get your
"Oh, I need to
advance
see that movie
payment.
again."
And again, these deliveries have to be made. Don't go running off with the merchandise. I'm only doing this because Genry told me that you were. Well, Genry recommended you, so I'm assuming that he's put his trust in you.
Maybe not me,
Yeah.
but
maybe not. Maybe not.
He kind of looks. He looks down at you and he's like,
Oh, poor little Liam.
"Did you break his shelves that one time?"
Who keeps dying?
No!
I
He's
have
told
no
the story!
idea. No idea what you're talking about.
He's told the story!
I don't
was
remember the
another little
details.
pink-haired halfling.
I don't remember the
Oh.
details, but my god, we had a laugh about that last night. Anyway, let me go get your gold and that extra delivery, and walks back up the gangplank. He's like swinging his arms. Da, 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 da.
Guys, I have a
Uh,
problem. I
What's
just,
the problem?
I really want his hat.
what a what a
So
lovely
buy
gentleman.
one.
I hate
You
to
can
see
buy a
him
hat.
go.
Should I
That
try to
is such a
steal it,
Pietro
or do you think he'd
reaction.
give it to me?
Why don't you ask him to buy it from him?
It'll be 100 gold.
Probably better, like, let's see.
So
We'll see, perhaps.
after a few
I
minutes,
do like how Pietro just loves. It's like, oh, I love everything about that man. It's just like, it's like that is a Pietro reaction to him.
so after a few minutes,
Mhm.
you see the captain coming back down the gangplank. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I have forgotten the name that I gave him.
Captain
Didn't sh-
Boderick.
Durin. That's what it was. All right.
Oh, Boderick. That's what I wrote down.
So he comes down the gangplank. He's not walking as jauntily as he was before. He's got a small box, like a small chest almost under his arm, and he's walking like almost carefully. And he's just like looking around. He's like, okay, here we go. This, and he very carefully hands the box or holds the box out in front of him. And he says, is very fragile. Please do not shake it. Please do not drop it. Any damage to it, and the client will let me know. He holds it out for somebody to take.
Is this drugs, explosives, or live critters?
It's
Kittens.
it's not drugs or live critters, and I don't know what explosives are. That's not a thing.
Things won't go boom.
Oh,
Well,
this won't go boom.
For the most fragile and delicate of packages, I suggest that our sturdiest and stoutest man handles it. And I gesture to Durin.
He's also the least drunk at the moment, so Durin will carefully take the box from the captain.
Remember, no shaking, no dropping. Very fragile. Very fragile.
I am gonna take a step away
It's not
from Durin.
illegal, is it? Yeah, it's not.
After a second, Saoirse
not
grabs the back of
illegal, is
Leorah's cloak and just snacks it back.
Don't be naive, Durin. Of course it's illegal.
And then he pulls out.
Alright, fair enough.
He pulls out a small purse from his waist, and he's like, 100 gold. Here you go. And he gives that to Pietro.
Thank you.
All right. Please make the deliveries as quickly as possible. And he reaches into another pocket in his coat, and he pulls out a piece of paper, and he hands that to you as well. He goes, make sure to make the deliveries, and I appreciate your custom, my good sir.
Excuse me. Oh, go ahead.
And it has been a pleasure doing business with you too, my good captain.
Oh, our business isn't concluded yet, my good man. Oh, my beautiful eye patch man. Our business is concluded when your deliveries are complete.
Excuse me, my good sir. Before we go, if I may I have the
Yes.
name of your haberdasher? That is quite the fetching chapeau.
Oh,
there.
this
Your
whole thing. Oh, let me tell you the story of how I got this hat. And he settles in to like lean on a box.
Oh, no.
Like pulls out a pipe and starts like lighting it. Like
It's like
I'm going to tell you a tale.
Let me
ten,
It's
10
he
years
does the
ago.
Deckard Cain, stay a while and listen.
10 years ago, back at the Grand Ball of Tyrus, I met a wonderful man. Just the greatest captain you could ever imagine. And you can tell that he is settling in for a long conversation.
I am so sorry, my dear
Leorah,
Captain.
we have work to do, so you just
We
stay here and
have-
listen to the good man.
We have committed to, a speedy and pristine delivery.
Yes, speedy and pristine I'll tell you the story about my hat over a beer or something next time I see you. Don't you worry.
Oh, I am looking forward to it.
So
It is
am I.
consummation devoutly to be wished. Mm.
Yes.
So, just to be clear, out of character, the package, we're making 3 deliveries just from this one box, or were there 2
From-
other things?
There's
There's
two
a-
in the crate.
You're taking the
This-
cart, which has
2
2
on the
small
wagon.
boxes and a large box, and then the small box that was handed to Durin is one of
Is the third
one of the
delivery.
deliveries. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's be off then. Anybody
So-
know how to handle a cart, by the way?
Who's got the best animal handling check?
I mean, I could just like drag it.
I mean,
I have +0 animal handling.
I have
Urizura,
+2.
I've got +2 animal handling.
I rolled a 13 on animal handling.
Okay.
I have a 0 animal handling, so not me.
Got a 16. Almost
You,
a
you-
22.
you maybe don't want Leorah driving in the city.
Can she
Just-
see over the stirrups?
This is not a riding horse. This is a
Draft
like a
horse.
wagon.
a draft horse. It's
Like a
intended to be
wagon.
walked. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, anybody else want to try their luck at animal handling?
Durin's got it.
Yeah.
I'm also holding the potentially explosive box. Or, no, not explosive. Since it's fragile and it won't boom,
Right.
it may instead implode and suck everyone's soul out. That too. As soon as we're clear of the captain and heading towards the cart and out of earshot,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look at the party while holding the very fragile box and go, so, does anyone else think that this is illegal as shit and potentially
course.
very dangerous?
What?
Naturally.
Illegal? No, don't slander us or the good captain.
Oh,
That's
it's,
shady
it's,
stuff, dude.
it's not slander if it's true.
It's just inconvenient.
Inconvenient facts. It's fine. We'll just.
Tis
We'll just take
either
Spoken like a true nobleman.
tis either an
it's not-
explosive, drugs, or some kind of creature inside.
He
It's
said
a
it wasn't
necromantic
kittens.
phylactery, isn't it?
I mean,
Bless
A
you.
necromantic factory? How does that even work?
Close enough.
So you get to the cart, and the horse is actually pretty docile. It's been trained. It's on the older side. It knows what it's doing, even if you don't. Durin, you can easily take the stirrups in your hand and just kind of lead it along, and it gladly plods along behind you. Would you like to open the note to see where you're delivering these things?
yes.
Probably would be a
would
good
like to check
idea.
that.
So, as
Let's,
you open,
let's.
Or we could like go to every single
prioritize-
building in the city and knock on the door and say, "Is this your package?"
Did you happen to order some illegal goods?
Let's prioritize the fragile package. I think.
okay. So when you open the paper, it's folded in half. You see that there is hastily scrawled on there is your delivery instructions. The 2 smaller boxes both contain
cart.
Yeah, on the cart. Both contain what is identified as valuable goods from one of the northern kingdoms, specifically gold, silver, jewelry, stuff like that. That is going to the temples district to be delivered to one of the temples. Specifically,
Both the boxes or one to
both
each
of the
temple or something?
boxes. It's going specifically to damn it, I had the name for this. It's not in
Welcome
my
to
notes.
real D&D, folks.
Yeah.
Where you forget the names of your captain, the names of your temples within the first 30 minutes.
It's going to the Temple of the Harvester.
Is that
Alright.
in any relation to the brewer?
They're not the same domain. It's not the same deity, but the harvester and the brewer are on good terms.
Right, so very close.
Yeah. The large box is going to bring up the map here. The large box is going to the merchant plaza, specifically to a shop known as the Candlekeeper, and the contents are described as various materials, like rare materials, silks, cloth, silks and cloth, cloth and silks, some fancier materials like gold and platinum, intended for production. Not easy to obtain, not necessarily super rare, but not easy to obtain in the city itself. The third one is going to the Heights, and this is the small box that's very fragile. The contents are listed as... That's weird. The contents are listed as fragile.
Oh, I thought that's what the contents were.
No.
This is listed as that's weird.
No.
Yeah, I was about to be like, I don't know
Sorry.
if I want to be holding a that's weird.
I got distracted by something. The contents are listed as fragile.
And that's it.
Yes.
Fragile.
The Italian
they
fragile.
ordered. They ordered a minifig from what do you call it? Death Stranding.
Yeah.
And you are specifically supposed to bring it to the estate of... What the hell was the name?
Oh, fuck.
The estate of Diastros.
Diastros?
Diastros. D-E space A-S-T-R-O-S. Diastros.
I was about to say you were going to do the estate of last name of the person that V's saw on his dreamscape.
Where's the fun in that?
That would have been convenient.
Yeah.
I was meant to be like, oh, there's the plot hook. I see.
I'm weaving many different
So-
webs here.
So, given the locations of each of these things, how far are they from each other? I'm assuming the Heights is the furthest location we'd be having to travel to.
The temples, well, okay, you're going to stop and ask somebody for directions just because you need to get around the city. But if you...
Well, yeah, I was going to ask for
Yeah.
like a for you to pull up the map as well. Like
Yeah.
once we get directions, be like, okay, where are we going? What's the fast? Because ideally, taking the fragile question box, getting it, offloading it first would probably be ideal. But if it's all the way across the city,
Well, it's all the way
would probably
across
be
the
better.
city. So the
okay,
the
so it'd
temples...
probably be better to drop off the other side.
So the temples are... let me see if I can show this on screen here really quick for stream. Add source. Image.
Trying to get it on the Foundry.
Not on the Foundry. I posted it in Discord. I want to show it on stream, though.
Yeah.
So that people can see what Tyrus looks like.
You could totally add it to the Foundry and then just show the Foundry thing.
It's true, I could.
It's not that hard to do.
But
They even have like this like character sheet thing as like the splash page for the Foundry.
it's true, I could.
Oh,
So this is
yeah,
the city of Tyrus. So you are at number 2, which is the docks.
Number 1 is the temples.
Number 1 is the temples. So the temples are right nearby. Number 4 is the is the Citadel, not the Merchant Plaza. Number 3 is the Merchant Plaza, which is where supposedly the
we went
Candlekeeper
the
is.
first game
Yep.
to get
And then
pick up some gear.
number 5 is the Heights. The Heights is not like clearly defined, but it's basically everything between 5 and 12. Kind of like scaling down through that area. The Citadel is part of the Heights, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well, it's the highest point in the city. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's literally Nazim going. So do you district? Oh, of course you don't. And
So-
then you suplex him to death.
So
Mhm.
hopefully that gives everybody some perspective.
So I guess the first step will be to ask for directions, since none of us, unless Leorah has been to all these little places.
She will be right back.
Oh.
She had
Oh,
to take a second.
that's- Yeah, I just saw that in the Discord. Okay, so I guess, yeah, when she gets back, we'll ask if she knows the city well enough to be our guide, or if we need to ask for directions from a totally upstanding and not shisty at all citizen.
You're telling me that the priest of our party doesn't know where the temples are?
Well,
Lad,
his
I
temples
worship
are
the
the
brewer.
bars.
Literally, lad, I worship the brewer.
Well, you're
Unless they have, if there is a temple of the brewer in the temples district, someone has not informed me.
you're
Because that's normally
reasonably
the best
sure.
bar in the city.
You're reasonably sure that there is a temple of the brewer in the city, because there is a temple for all of the brewer's aspects in most major cities, because people love drinking. But you have only been in the city for a couple of days. You haven't been to
Couple
the
days,
temples yet. So
I like the idea of the temple of the brewer being a either giant distillery, giant brewery, or all of the above and a bar.
I mean, you could always check it out while you're there.
German beer garden en masse. Let's go. Oh, well, I should wait for Elene to get back. I was gonna mention what the D&D drink of the evening is.
While we have a moment, let's talk about what the D&D drink of the evening is. Mal, what you drinking tonight?
I was gonna wait for Elene, but okay.
Too bad.
It is literally, the recipe is called holy water.
Nice.
And it is essentially a take on the Moscow Mule. So ginger beer, vodka, limes, but it's also, you add Saint Germain's elderflower liqueur to it. Not too much, but it's actually really freaking good.
Hmm.
There's another version of it where instead it's kind of like you use tequila and like sweet and sour, like a margarita with Saint Germain's.
Is that called the unholy water?
I would think it would be. It's still technically called holy water, but I was like, no. So you have turned the clear beverage into a yellowed beverage, and you're still calling it holy water, and you're basically drinking margaritas. Like, I don't know if that's technically holy, but you know what? You do you.
Well, if you're turning holy water slightly yellow, it should be like post-use baptism water.
Ugh.
I mean,
That's
Yeah.
disgusting.
that's what happens.
Ugh.
That still doesn't make it any less. Ugh.
Ugh.
Babies peeing in that water all the time.
That
Yes, I
doesn't-
know.
That
but
doesn't make it better. That makes it worse.
that
Jesus.
still makes it. Ugh.
I'm just saying.
Oh Lord.
Ugh.
Is
All
you're just-
holy water has a little bit of pee in it.
All pools have a little bit of pee in it. I don't care how much they clean that shit.
Welcome back. What? Yeah, she came back just in time to hear that.
Hi, lady.
Hi.
The
We were
pee
talking-
is stored in the holy water.
We were talking about selling holy water as a drink because that's the D&D drink of the evening.
Hi.
And apparently babies pee in holy water all the time.
Oh yeah.
Which,
I mean,
course.
I can't say that I would consider a cool, crisp, refreshing beverage.
at least you know it's probably sterile. I mean, they're babies. How bad could their pee be?
Oh my God!
Ugh.
Stop talking.
So one time when I was a kid,
Oh no.
someone brought back water from the River Jordan to be included in the holy water.
Yep.
Oh no!
Yeah, nope.
That
Don't do that.
Yeah,
Smelled
no.
bad.
that
didn't
water
it?
was full of all the bad.
Yeah.
It's like saying, "Hey, I got this water directly from the Hudson," and you're like, "Ugh." I'm,
You're
di-
like, oh,
I'm
yeah,
diseased being in the
excellent.
same room as this shit.
Direct from the
Like-
Ganges.
Oh
It's like,
God!
oh,
Don't
yes,
do the
excellent.
Ganges is the worst river of them all.
I sure do love holy dysentery.
Exactly.
If you're
It'll
lucky.
purge you of all of your sins and internal organs.
Literally.
All right, so
Ugh, this
um,
conversation, Jesus.
yes,
So now that Elene / Leorah is back,
Mhm.
Durin will ask our littlest party member whether she is familiar enough with the city to guide us to both the Temple District. We know where the Market Plaza is. We've been there, and the Heights.
No.
All right, fair enough.
easy peasy. So you flag down somebody that is able to give you quick and dirty directions. The temples are not far. You can almost literally see them from the docks. But again, the streets are busy. It's still a little misty outside. The streets are busy, and you're able to get there without too much trouble. People kind of make way for your cart. Some of the captains, as you're getting ready to leave the docks district, kind of look at you and they're like, "What the fuck?" But they don't make
We're here first.
and they and you manage to make it to the temples district without too much trouble.
Did we just like break a dock worker strike or something like that? Are we
We crossed the
scabs?
picket line,
That's kind of what
Or-
I'm concerned about.
or
That
where the
like,
bloody blades were the dock with the stevedores union.
It's funny because I don't think any of you are watching the stream, and I'm just like,
No, I'm watching the stream with your big, like you're doing the like shrug, the I don't know, but you also have a smug, shit-eating grin on your face while you're doing that shrug.
because
So,
I'm
like,
trying
yeah.
really hard not to take notes right now.
By the way,
Oh,
guys,
we don't
Oh,
see
so-
any. You
the
don't
smug
see anybody
shit-eating
like
grin is a
striking at the
picture.
dock. It's like, you know, you see people with signs and like dancing around, like,
It's
"Ah,
just-
we aren't gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it,"
So, but it's just
etc.
like it's just interesting that all of a sudden all of the dock workers seem to have disappeared, but there's no strikes. It's just
Yeah.
there's no porters. It's like okay, what?
Yeah,
what's going
mysterious, isn't
on?
it?
And the harbor master isn't allowed to answer why there's no porters or dock workers. It's like okay, that's not suspicious
clear-
at all. Yeah,
clearly
no, Dave's writing this down. Write
Now,
that down
clearly,
for next
what's
time, write that down
happened
for
is
next time.
clearly what's happened is that all of the dock workers were kidnapped and turned into Kool-Aid men by whoever's making those abominations.
By who?
The
By
harbor
who's making
master
the
knows
Kool-Aid
what's
man.
going on, and she's like, "No, damn it! I need more dock workers."
No,
These are
they're not turned
reasons.
into Kool-Aid men. I don't know what you're talking about.
So
What
you
the
make
hell
it
is
to the
Kool-Aid?
temples district, and the temples district is quite a bit different from the docks and the area around it. It's enclosed by a wall. The wall is not very high. It's maybe like 3 to 4 feet tall, which means that the only thing that's going to be stopping is Leorah, and that's only if she doesn't try really hard. But it's clearly meant to delineate the area between the temples and the rest of the city. The temples themselves are numerous. There's a number of different gods that are worshipped, and it seems like all of them have a presence here. Some of the temples are large and ostentatious. Some of them are smaller and more conservative. The ones that are on the main street that you're traveling on seem to be the ones that are larger and more ostentatious. You pass by several places without finding the place that you're looking for. There's the Stormbearer. There is the God, I gotta. This is what happens when you try to make up a pantheon off the top of your fucking
I
head.
was about to say, have you not written down what the Pantheon is yet, Dave? You've had plenty
Nope.
of time.
You even had a 3-week delay.
haven't.
Probably should
Oh,
write that down,
okay.
Dave.
I will. Don't worry.
Professional dungeon master.
So there's the Stormbearer. There's the Warrior. There's.
Do you want me to take notes for you?
No, it's fine. Shut up.
Notes from.
There's
big
the
notes.
weaver, the teacher. There's a number of different places. You're just passing by them, and eventually, you come to the temple that you're looking for, which is the Harvester. And it's very clear that it's the Harvester because it's the only temple that actually has like a garden out front. And when I say a garden, I mean that they're probably growing wheat, or they would be if it was in season. It's currently not in season, but they definitely have the remains of a wheat harvest out front.
That's
Fair
easy.
enough.
That's festive.
Happy Festivus.
For the rest of us.
For the rest of us.
All right, so it's the 2 smaller crates for this place.
Yes.
All right. I will. Let's see. Let's have Urizura. Would you mind carrying the crates?
I'll shrug and take the crates.
One
Are they
crate.
particularly heavy?
They are not. Well, actually, they are pretty heavy. You don't necessarily notice because, you're big and buff. But give
I
me
have
a
a-
strength check, just in case.
I have a carrying capacity of 210 pounds.
Give me a strength check.
Sure. 20.
20. You can definitely feel the weight of them because, when I say that they're smaller, I mean that they're still like, 3 feet across and like 2 feet deep, and they are, according to the thing,
They're full of gold and shit.
Loaded
So yeah,
with
that's
valuables.
heavy.
But
Gold ain't light.
But yeah, you're able to lift and carry them without too much trouble. It is still a bit of a struggle. Like you're like, "Huh," but you manage it. So you
All right.
go ahead.
I'll lead Urizura along. We'll go to the temple. Anyone else who wants to follow may. Though we should probably have somebody stay behind to watch the carts.
Watch the card.
Well, you don't want that getting stolen.
Yeah.
I'll
I can hang
prop
out.
myself up on the cart.
Okay.
All right. So you approach the doors to the temple, which are open at this time of day. So you can walk right in, and you see a woman in a.
And oh shit, did it cut out again?
You still good? I might be cutting out because I'm not close to my microphone.
No, I hear you, Dave. Is,
Yeah,
is
I
V
can
the
hear
one
y'all
that
again.
keeps dropping out or
Yeah,
whatever?
V has to keep dropping out of Discord,
strange.
popping back in because the Discord keeps stopping.
That's weird.
Ah,
Yeah, sometimes the audio will kick back in after a couple seconds on its own, and if it doesn't, then I drop out and, and jump back in.
Gotcha. That's
So I don't
weird.
know what's going on tonight.
I think
Huh.
Guard used to have that problem too.
Huh.
I think it's a Discord issue.
So as you walk into the temple, you see a woman dressed in a plain yellowish colored robe. It's got a hood, but the hood is down. And you can see that she's normal-ish looking human woman. And she looks up as you come in and she says, yes, welcome to the Temple of the Harvester. How can I help you?
Yes, we have a shipment here from the Jasmine Dragon. A couple crates here of, I believe, gold, silver, some jewelry, perhaps.
That's unusual.
I'll shrug and set the crates down in front of her.
That's strange. And she looks at the crates and she waves over somebody, and the person that comes running up is an older gentleman. His robes are fancier, not significantly fancier. Like hers are very simple, single color. His are still simple but multicolor. Still yellow is the prominent color, but he goes, "Yes, sister. What is this?" Apparently, this is a delivery from the Jasmine Dragon. I'm assuming from down at the docks, but I wasn't expecting any deliveries, and I'm not sure what to do. Oh, well, I suppose we open it up and see. And he looks down and he sees that it is locked. Both of the crates are locked. And he looks at the lock for a second. He goes, Ah, yes. He reaches into his robes and he pulls out a key. The key looks pretty simple, but also unusual. Like, it's not a normal key. He pops it in the lock and he opens it, and he opens the crate, and you can see that it is in fact full of valuables: gold, silver, platinum, jewelry, coin, some goblets and stuff like that. It doesn't look like it's a monetary offering. It looks like it's, this stuff looks valuable, let's use this instead of money. And he looks at the sister acolyte and is got this look of confusion on his face, and she points down at the crate and he's like, ah, yes. Reaches in and he opens up this, or grabs this piece of paper and he opens it up. And I have to look up a name really quick. Give me a second here. Okay. And he looks up, he goes, reads it over, and he's like, I thank you for bringing this to the temple, both of you. Be sure to give my thanks to the captain of the Jasmine Dragon as well. He turns to the acolyte, and it's like, it's an offering from Basaria. And she goes, ah, yes. Is this the third one? He goes, it's the fourth one, actually. They're desperate. Trying to do anything they can at this point. Well, we'll do our best, as always. He's like, yes, we will. He looks up and he notices the two of you are still there, and he's like, I'm sorry, is there something else? Oh, you need payment, don't you?
Yes. I would appreciate some payment for our services.
Yes.
Before we head out.
I understand. I'll be right back. And he closes the crate and he locks it up again. And the acolyte that's with him starts working to very slowly drag it into the temple proper while he goes and heads off into a back office. After a couple of steps, the acolyte is just like, fuck it, and just kind of gives up. And she's just like, we'll take care of this later. And then he's just kind of standing there, awkwardly waiting.
Yeah, I was about to say, Durin's not there. Mm-hmm. But does Pietro want to make a history check on what Balsaria is?
Can I do that?
You absolutely can.
I'm going to pull out a book, because I forgot I had this. I have a history book.
Okay.
It gives me a +5 on my history checks.
Okay.
What? Where were you hiding that? Okay.
So 17 + 5, that's 22.
Okay. Basaria is one of the kingdoms of the Alliance in the Ganorian Peninsula. It is the northeastern kingdom. And
the really war-ravaged one, right?
It has been devastated by war. If you had to guess,
figures I would be the one not present for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whoopsie doodle.
If you had to guess, based on what you know about Basaria and their troubles, you would assume that this is an offering to the Harvester as a desperation tactic to try to possibly help them out with crops in the next year.
Divine intervention.
Yes.
Yeah, asking for divine intervention from the Harvester.
Correct. After a few minutes, the priest comes back and he's got a small pouch of gold, or a small pouch that jingles. You don't know that it's gold. And he goes, "Yes, here for your delivery. Thank you again. And unless there's something else that I can help you with,
I'm just gonna take a quick little peek inside the pouch to make sure he's not just handing me a pouch full of rocks."
You look inside and you see rocks, but they're shiny now. There's like
river rocks. Let's go.
There's like 25 gold in there.
Okay. And all right. It seems our business is concluded. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and may the troubles in Basoleria come to an end in the near future.
Oh, that's what we all hope for, isn't it? Thank you again.
Out of character spoiler. It's gonna get worse.
And he turns and he looks back at the crates, and then he looks at the sister and he's like, all right, let's give this a try. And as you walk out, you see both of them just kind of being like,
Good lord, how much gold and stuff did they shove in there?
about
Oh, no, it
200
wasn't that
pounds
much.
All of it.
Okay,
Wasn't that
well,
much.
All right.
All right.
So you
Our
get
next
back.
deliveries to the marketplace.
Yeah, you get back to the cart, and everybody sees you there. Does anybody say anything?
Oh,
You are kind of playing
no problems.
song on our lute.
no problems
Durin.
whatsoever. Just an offering from Basoleria to the harvester.
Wait, from Basalia?
That's right.
No, wait, they sent it all the way here. What was in it?
Gold.
Treasure, necklaces, and things.
I will frown.
Big frown.
So where do you want to head to next?
I want to head to the heights, but I understand that the
We still have a
marketplace is
cart we're
closer.
dragging behind us.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go ahead and make our way to the marketplace since it's closest.
Okay,
Durin's still going to be... Do I need to make another animal check, or am I good?
you're good. It's a pretty docile animal. Unless something weird happens, you don't have to worry about it.
That's not an invitation, Dave.
Look, you asked. So you're heading down the road towards the markets, and the crowds are gradually getting heavier as you get closer, because it's, despite the fact that it's a drizzly, misty day, people still do a lot of business out of the markets. So
Markets, yes.
once you reach the outer edges, it's clear that the crowds are thick as thieves. Not literally, they're just a lot of people. And it
What
takes.
was the name of the location we were taking this stuff to?
Anybody remember?
Checking the piece of paper I have.
The Hudawara.
Dave is asking for the name. I know
It's
it
the
was the candle
candle
something.
keeper. Candle keeper.
The candle keeper. Okay.
I know it was the candle something, but
I think when you were talking about the shop was when the audio dropped out
Gotcha.
before.
Okay. So you make it to the market, or the merchant district, merchant plaza, and this place is, as you've seen before, just yesterday, quite large. There are many places that may or may not be the candle keeper. How do you want to find this place?
I call over to someone nearby, and ask them which way to the candle keeper.
So you call over, and this guy turns around and he looks at you, and you need to give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
Snickety check.
I got a 15.
You got a 15? Okay.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for a crit fail.
Aw.
Why is like the DC like a 5 or something?
Yeah, the DC isn't high, but if it was a crit fail, I was going to have him go, fuck you! And you're like in New York.
I figured that.
Ah, fuck
Yeah.
you, and fuck you too.
That's fair. I'd fuck me too.
But he's just like...
So
"The
it sounds
ca-
like V was hoping for a crit fail as well. All right.
He goes, candle... oh, yeah, the forges. Go to the forges.
The forges.
And he points off, and then he turns and walks away. So
You big in the New York accent, ain't you, Dave?
I'm big into the New York. He was gonna say "fuck you," so now he's a New Yorker.
Fuck you,
So you follow where he's pointing,
you
and
jabroni.
you realize that it's getting just a little bit hotter as you get closer to this area. And it turns out that when he said the forges, he meant the forges, as these are blacksmiths, whitesmiths, goldsmiths, and just
Smiths.
just a number of different metal workers in this area. It's not hard to find the Candlekeeper, because the Candlekeeper is the only one that actually has a sign. And the sign is literally a hand holding a candle.
Excellent.
Fair enough.
It's not the largest forge. It's in fact one of the smaller ones. But you know, it's there, and you have found it.
Excellent. So this is where the large crate goes.
Correct.
Yes.
All right. Urizura, would you like to do the honors?
I'll just kind of like
Big.
look at him, and it's like I'm not here to carry things, but fine.
I'm not sworn to carry your burdens, damn it.
Yeah, I'm not that lady from fucking Skyrim.
I'm not Lydia, damn you. My name's Urizura.
I'm sworn to carry your burdens.
The fact that that character sounded so done with your shit the first time she said that, I was like, wow. That's good voice acting. Literally just the, I'm sworn to carry your burdens. Way to make me feel like a shitheel, thanks.
Who's going in, other than Urizura and Pietro?
I'll be carrying the box.
Yep.
I'm assuming V will go in. Durin's still taking care of the box and the horse, so...
My precious.
Alright, I'll go in.
Hey,
then.
if it's gonna possibly explode, you know, might as well be at ground zero.
Maybe I should open it and see what's inside. After all, why shouldn't I?
What's in the box?
It's mine, why shouldn't I?
After all, I should.
Oh no, inside
With
the
that
box is
fucking
dirt.
face expression.
So as you walk into the Candlekeeper, you hear the metallic tang of ting, ting of somebody forging, and you are blasted by the heat of the forge. It is hot in here. The only person that is not immediately uncomfortable is Urizura, because you get hit by this heat and you're just like, that's kind of nice.
That's pleasant. I don't know why, but it's particularly pleasant.
Is it hot in here, or is it just me?
Wait, does Urizura not realize she's a fire?
No, she doesn't.
Fair enough.
She has no reason to realize that.
So
Giant big fire lady. Oh, I like fire. No, couldn't
Well,
be.
she's never seen them before, so she doesn't know. She'll know.
Fair enough.
so as you walk in, the hammering stops, and you see the blacksmith look up at you, and then look down at you. The blacksmith is taller than Urizura.
Damn.
That's rare.
Not by much, maybe by a couple of inches, but
Whoa.
she.
Yeah, Leorah. Whoa.
There's someone taller than her. Is there?
She
I mean,
is.
to be fair, mind blown.
She is. She's wearing like the blacksmith apron. She's got goggles on her face. And she's like blackened and stuff like that. She's also fucking ripped. Like, once again, Hugo was like fat ripped. She's this blacksmith is like thick muscle that comes from somebody that has done physical labor but also takes care of themselves. That's important.
Literally the I must break you type type
Uh,
build.
She looks up as you enter, and she kind of lifts up her goggles, and she's like, "Help you?"
Step on me. I mean, fuck me. So we have a delivery here for you. This crate. From the Jasmine
I
Dragon.
just shoot like a withering glare at Pietro.
she just sits there and she's like, huh? And she puts down her tongs and she puts down her hammer. And as she starts like cleaning up her hands, like washing them just to get them clean, you notice that now that you're inside the forge, that this place is apparently a blacksmith of no specific specialty. On one wall, you see various bladed weapons. There's axes, small and large. There's swords, small and large. Daggers. On another wall, you see farming implements, scythes, saws, stuff like that. There's also horseshoes. There's only like 2 horseshoes, as clearly intended as this is the quality of horseshoe I can provide.
You got to make them fresh,
You have to fit them to the horse. So.
Yeah.
Things that you don't see are armor. There's no armor here. It's mostly like weapons and tools, as opposed to anything wearable. She finishes washing her hands. She kind of walks up and she leans on the counter, and she looks at Urizura and she looks at the crate in your hands. She's like, "That it?"
I shrug and place the crate on the counter. I assume it is.
What's your name?
My name? Urizura.
New in town?
Yes.
From up north?
I start like counting on my fingers, like trying to figure out like the direction I came from. And I point whichever direction I came from.
Which was west. South.
Yeah,
southwest.
that way.
Strange. Where's this delivery from?
The boat down at the dock, the green one.
The Jasmine Dragon.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. She grabs the box and she flips it open and takes a look inside. Oh, right. Okay. Closes the box, latches it, lifts it up easily, slams it down on the ground behind the counter. How much are...
Let's see. We're priced at 25 gold per delivery.
Also, out of character. Get yourself a sword, Alk.
I was planning on it.
All right.
I have to conclude our business.
We were told you paid half up front and half now, and we weren't told how much you paid up front, so...
That's right. I forgot. Sorry, it's busy. She kind of she starts looking around for something, then she stops and she looks at Saoirse and she's like, "Didn't see you there. It's pretty good."
I have that fact.
Goes back to like looking through her stuff, and she
Master of the obvious.
Does like the Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid 3. You're pretty good.
Saoirse just like fades out again.
she
Literally does the meme where it does the peace sign and
out
just
and disappear.
disappears.
It's just a cardboard box where she was a moment before.
Oh, that's weird. She was just there. I don't know where she went.
Cardboard box of oranges. And they have no idea what the hell an orange is.
I can hide as a bonus action now. You all are fucked.
she grabs a small pouch and hands it to Urizura. Goes, "There you go. Should be it. You can count it."
I look through it and start counting it.
1,
2, 3. It is 75 gold.
I thought that was kind of interesting about the count from Sesame Street, because vampires in lore, if you scatter things
they're
in front of them, they have
obsessed
to
with
count.
They're obsessed with counting, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. The fact that they bothered to be
They
that.
built
like,
that into a
lore-
character.
Yeah, they were that lore accurate. And it's not
But
so,
also,
year-
like, they
years
built that into a
later.
character and used it as a pun.
Yeah. And then it's
That was
not
the
till
whole
you're an
point.
adult years later that you're like,
Wait
Whoa.
a second.
mind
Yeah,
blown.
so I count all the coins. I'm assuming that I count correctly and that it's what we were supposed to receive.
Make an intelligence check,
I was about to
Urizura.
say, Dave's gonna make
I-
you do an intelligence check now.
I will
We have to
count
talk
it over
about
her
how
shoulder
money works again.
or under her shoulder.
Under her shoulder. I was about to say, you'd have to be
Yeah,
like,
that's gonna be
have to
a
be-
1.
Yes!
Let's see,
Well,
1.
You're pretty sure this is somewhere
one-
between 20 and 2,000 gold, but you
There,
find
there is a
Oh,
nut.
boy.
I turn to Pietro and tell him there is a number of coins in here.
Oh,
There is at least one.
here. Let me check it.
All right, give me an intelligence check, Pietro.
I will
Get a
assist
one.
you.
Get a 1. Get a 1.
I will assist you so you have advantage.
Get a...
I got a 10.
You got a 10? Doesn't matter. You managed to count it out and realize that it's 75 gold.
Okay.
I was about to say, I think the DC is anything above 1.
It's like that first check in Baldur's Gate 3. It's a DC of 2.
Yeah, and you can still fail it.
You can
Still
still
fail
fail
it.
it.
That's the funniest part
I've
about it.
done it.
Urizura just counted
It
like
is-
trolls from Discworld, just
Yeah.
one too many lots.
Yeah,
I'll just add that.
I
to
just
the
I
rest
got
of our
bored
pave
counting
day.
it. Is what it was. You know, it's like I'm not punching a dude in the face, so it's just like man, I just can't focus on this.
All right.
But yeah.
So let's finally go to the heights.
Yeah, before you do that, or as you like head out, I'll talk to Miss Blacksmith Lady.
I don't think we ever got her name.
No, we didn't. I didn't. Unimportant. I pull out the.
She does have a
broken-
name, actually.
She does, and so do I. And I didn't introduce my. Well, she did ask my name. That's
Yeah.
true. But anyway, I'll pull out the busted ass handle of my wooden greatsword and plop it on the counter and ask her, "You got anything in about yay big?"
Yay big.
You're fighting with us?
Oh, yeah, I broke it over the head of some glob thing with like too many mouths and too many arms and
Too many
too many
heads.
eyes.
Why are you
Too
fighting
much
with,
of everything, really.
why are you
Like
fighting
what,
with wood?
3 heads?
What? No head?
Why are you
No, I
fighting?
had 3 of them.
Why are you fighting with wood?
Well, it's just a practice sword, you know.
Hmm.
Papa never gave me a real sword, although he gave me the lumber axe.
You got that axe with you? Yeah, you do. I see it on your
Yeah,
back.
it's on my back.
Let me see.
Pull that out and hand it to her.
She kind of picks it up, takes a look at it, runs her hand along the blade, and sees how like chipped and pitted it is because it's old. She's
It's
like,
old and been like bashed against trees for like decades.
got a good weight to it. Not good for fighting.
No, I usually use it for cutting firewood.
Hmm. Should get some proper weapons. Looks like you can use them.
Yes, I don't disagree with that.
She kind of stands up and like looks around. Grabs a sword off the wall. It's a big sword, like it's taller than Leorah by a significant margin. It's almost as tall as Pietro. She kind of like
Oh.
she gently sets it down on the counter. And it's a very fine sword. It's like a it's not fancy.
But
Mal-
well made.
Mal, did you cut
Okay,
out?
there we-
That was weird.
Yeah, my entire internet froze up, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Discord is having some trubs tonight.
No, it was the stream too. I'm sitting here watching characters select on Twitch, and it just fucking
Weird.
your face is moving in hyperspeed as it catches
No,
up.
no,
It's
no.
creepy.
So she places the sword on the.
Yeah.
She puts the sword on the counter, and
Mhm.
it's a fine sword. It's not fancy. Like The crossguard is very simple. It's just made of iron. The what the fuck is the word I'm thinking of? It's not handle. Pommel.
Pommel.
Pommel?
The
The
hilt?
bottom of the sword.
Hilt.
Thing you-
The hilt is clearly made of wood wrapped in leather, but wrapped carefully, wrapped very, very perfectly.
Fastidiously and
Yeah.
whatever.
The
That's a
the
good
blade
word. I like that
itself is it's not shined, it's black. And it's not covered in soot. It's like rather than grinding it against a stone to get all the imperfections out, the imperfections are still there, but they're part of the sword. You know,
It's like a big cast iron thing.
Is the edge still sharp though?
the edge is definitely sharp. Like you can see the edge gleaming, but the rest of the sword is black. She
So it's
goes,
like Blades of Chaos style, just rough hewn, but it will
it's
still.
it's
kill
not
you.
even rough hewn. Like if you had to put this, if you polished this sword and made it shine, it would look very nice. But it's not. It's not designed to look nice. It's designed to work.
Engravings give you no tactical advantage whatsoever.
Unless they're proper magical dwarven runes, laddie.
But she sets that on
Get
the
to fighting!
the counter, and she makes like a gesture to you to telling you to pick it up.
Yeah, I'll pick it up.
And as you pick it up, you can feel that it's very well balanced. It's not. This isn't a fancy sword. It's not magical. It's not masterwork. It is just a sword, but it's significantly heavier than your wooden sword was, clearly, and but it's got a good balance to it. It feels right somehow, like you were training for that
Right.
with a wooden sword to use a sword like this. What do you think?
I think I'll take it. This is great.
Just made that one. 50 gold.
I'll
50 gold.
I'll pull out my pouch and start counting, and then after like a couple of seconds, I stop and just dump some coins on the counter.
And she kind of looks down and she kind of chuckles a little bit. And she goes, "Okay." Picks through the coins, grabs them, and she hands the extras back to you. Puts the 50 gold into a pouch and puts it under the counter. It's a good sword.
I hope you get some good use out of it. Much obliged.
If you want to replace that axe, you know where to find me. Name's Red.
I'll
Her name is
reach
Red.
out my hand to give her a shake.
She grabs your hand, and it's the first time that you've shaken hands with somebody that can actually like match your
Give a
size.
proper
Fit.
handshake.
Fit your hand. I
And
gotta
you're-
ask, when she says her name is Red, is she also a big umber-colored
No,
Goliath lady?
she is. If you want the details, her hair is actually blue, like blue tinged. It's black with blue like highlights, kind of.
Mhm.
And her, yes, you son of a bitch. um, she is paler in skin, but it's clear that she spends a lot of time in the forge, so her skin is kind of like a burnt red, kind almost, just from the heat exposure. And her eyes are actually like a kind of sky blue color. So you're not entirely sure why she goes by the name Red, because there's not a drop of red.
Not
in
a lot
any
about her.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Not a
because
lot.
she's Irish.
You know what? Fair enough.
um,
Magic runes, laddie.
but yeah, she shakes your hand, and then she's like, "Ever want to replace that axe? Come find me." And then
I'll keep that in mind.
puts her goggles back on, turns around, picks up her tongs, picks up the hammer, ting, 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 back to work.
I will head on out of the forge.
Alright.
Not shiny new, but new great sword strapped on my back.
There you go. And then,
Yeah.
as you head towards the heights, we're going to call it for tonight. Because we've been going for about 2.5 hours. And the
Wait,
next part is
really?
going to be, yeah.
Those are rookie numbers. You gotta get those numbers up.
But the next part is going to be a bit more interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna
totally-
drop explosive.
Yeah, we're totally smuggling explosives.
But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed. This one was specifically less combat centric, so that you could get more of a feel of the city as much as anything else. And
Well, now we know where the Temples District is. We know where the docks are. We know where the Market Plaza is, and specifically
it's
a
like an
blacksmith is.
RPG quest that teaches you where things are.
The
Yeah.
tutorial prologue section.
Next, we're gonna go figure out how to control our retainers,
Yep.
Yeah.
send them out
And
on
that-
missions,
And then how to build up the torn banner into a proper,
No, that's at level 5.
Yeah, and then what is it? Is it Gary or Gendry?
Genry.
Genry.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, "The fuck you doing in my tavern?"
We're just in there like hammering and like knocking down walls,
And like building new. He's like,
like,
"The
what?
Fuck?"
This is our place now.
It's like,
We
don't
own
you
it.
know? We're the murder hobos that Dave threw into this world.
Look, I haven't murdered anyone that didn't deserve it. Maybe.
You haven't murdered anybody yet.
I mean, I
Other
killed
than
some
accept it.
motherfuckers pretty
You-
hard,
You
but
definitely altered some consciousnesses, but you did not kill anybody. But thanks everybody for watching. The next episode of Adventure Select will be in 3 weeks because Mal has to go to a wedding.
Oh no!
You
Like I
son
said,
of a bitch.
if it wasn't my favorite cousin, I would have found a way to avoid it. But I owe Miles
well.
that much.
But Monday I'll be back streaming more Phoenix Point. Friday XCOM Files. Saturday probably gonna. What?
you said 3 weeks, Dave?
3. Oh God! Now what?
That'd be the 12th.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be California at that point.
My God, we might have to do. We can't do next week. We'll figure it out, everybody. Don't you worry. Next episode will happen when it happens. But thanks everybody for watching.
19th.
Phoenix Point on Monday. XCOM Files on Friday. I'm going to start Suikoden on Saturday, and the all-day stream.
Which Suikoden?
1. And
Oh god, Suikoden 2, man.
I got to do 1 before I do 2.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough.
And the all-day stream on May 8th. Make sure to show up for that as well. Have a good night.
What?
Have a great weekend. And always seek adventure
Always
for profit and glory.
Excelsior!
profit and glory.